Welcome back to Dragon Quest II. In the previous episode, I traveled to Leftwine, then Cannock. Finding that the prince there had left for the Spring of Bravery, I went there, but missed him along the way, having to go back to Middenhall, then Leftwine, to finally find him. I then explored a cave on a lake to the west, finding a silver key, which allows me to open silver doors, although I haven't gotten much out of it. Now that I have 2 party members, I'll head south towards Moonbrooke to figure out what happened, so let's get to it. Before I head there though, I decide to explore south of Middenhall Castle, finding a monolith where a wise man says there are keys made of silver and gold, the silver key being in the cave of the lake west of Cannock, suggesting that I go with a friend. Unfortunately, I get no info where the golden key could be. I then go all the way to the north, finding a monolith on an island out of reach. I then grind a bit until Rastaban reaches level 10, then head west of Cannock, finding a monolith along the coast, finding a wise man that talks about the monolith south of Middenhall. I go down the stairs, entering an underwater tunnel. I go west, then south, going up the stairs to outside, and it's an isolated island. So I return, going south, from the east this time, exiting to the next landmass. I head south to the next town. New enemies found along the way include Magidrakis, an enemy capable of casting the defense spell to reduce the party's defense stat, and zombies, high HP and strength enemies. They can cast Surround to reduce the party's accuracy. They also have a fondness for defending. I reach the next town, Hamlin. Facilities in this town include an inn, a house of healing, a lottery, an item shop that sells herbs, wings and water, and a weapon shop that sells chain sickles, iron spears, broadswords, chainmail, full plate armor, and steel shields. I talk to a lady who says ghosts may wander the world. Talking to them may even be possible. A warrior says that there's a tall tower where one might get the Cloak of Wind. A soldier says that the kingdom of Moonbrooke lies to the southwest. A man says that appearances can be deceiving. Another saying that merchants sometimes give away lottery tickets. A wise man here allows me to save the game, being the third save point of the game. I also find a dog. This one seems fond of me, as it follows me around town. I buy an iron spear for Arfo, then leave for Moonbrooke. I go to the southwest. New enemies along the way include Smoke, low HP enemies that have high defense and are a bit evasive. They can cast Stop Spell. Lizard flies, they sometimes show up in groups that spam Fireball. And baboons, enemies that have high HP and strength, a threat to low defense party members. I find Moonbrooke Castle, surrounded by poisonous marsh, then I enter. The castle is ruined and full of monsters, a new one being the Metal Slime, low HP but very high defense enemies, casters of Fireball and Sleep. They give quite a bit of experience, although this time they truly have spell immunity. Critical hits might be the only answer to defeat them at this point. I see a flame moving around on the southwest. This is a ghost, so I talk to him, who is reliving his last moments during Hargon's attack. I then go northeast, finding the throne room. The ghost there is none other than the former king of Moonbrooke, who tells me that his daughter, the Princess of Moonbrooke, has been turned into a dog. I go to the west. The doors here don't even need to be opened as the nearby walls are destroyed. I find 2 chests, opening them for nothing at all. I then talk to the last ghost, who talks about the Mirror of Ra, lost on a swamp southeast of Amlin, from which one can see 4 bridges. There are stairs in this castle, but I can't seem to find a way to that room, and by this point I don't have many resources, so I go back to Hamlin to rest and restock. I then return to Moonbrooke. The room seems to be accessible from the southwest, so I go northwest, traveling through the swamp, going through my supply of medical herbs and heal spells as I do so, finally reaching the southwest corner. Going down the stairs to the next floor, I find a soldier who's still alive, saying that the princess can be broken out of her curse using the Mirror of Ra, which reveals the true self. Why did he have to be in a poisonous swamp floor though? I work back to Hamlin with a wing, then rest. I grind for a bit until I reach 1000 gold, buying the full plate armor for Rastaban, passing down his chainmail to Arfo. Then I decide to go to the eastern swamp, but these travels end up being a bit troublesome, so I make repeated visits back to Hamlin to rest, or even revive party members. After a couple of attempts, I finally reach the swamp, a 2x2 square of marshland. I search every single tile of it, finding the Mirror of Ra on the northeast corner. Arfo even reaches level 10 on the way back, learning the return spell. This spell, much like the wings, warps me back to the last place I saved. Now that I am back in Hamlin, I use the Mirror of Ra on the dog I found there, and sure enough, the mirror reveals her true form, the Princess of Moonbrooke, breaking the curse. The mirror also breaks itself in the process. Since she is free from her terrible fate, Princess Peta joins us as the 3rd party member. The Princess of Moonbrooke has incredibly reduced equipment options, but she compensates with amazing magic. She starts with Heal More and learns multi-target damage spells, as well as a variety of status effect spells. She's the premiere at spell slinging. Her addition to the party even changes the overworld music. I decide to grind for a bit to prepare for the next dungeon. Peta reaches level 2, learning the sleep spell, a boon against strong enemies that might be vulnerable to it. Then, at level 4, she learns the Inferno spell, a group target damage spell that is slightly stronger than Fireball, giving the party good enemy clearing capabilities. I continue the grind, reaching 1500 gold, buying the broadsword for Rastaban. Peta then reaches level 6, learning the Surround spell, which lowers the accuracy of an enemy group. I gather 2000 gold, buying the steel shield for Rastaban, passing down his leather shield to Arfo. I resume grinding, Arfo reaching level 12, learning the Outside spell, and I decide to finish this grinding session when Rastaban reaches level 14. Throughout my travels, I spotted a tower south of the swamp where I found the Mirror of Ra, but I always found myself blocked by either mountains or rivers. The path to this tower, starting from Hamlin, is to go to the northeast, cross a bridge to the east, move along the beach, crossing one of two bridges from a forest to mountains, going south through small islands, and finally going west until I find the tower. A new enemy found near it is the Megapede. It has high defense, is poisonous, and might be capable of inflicting critical hits. I then enter the tower. A new enemy that can be found in this dungeon is the Ghost Rat, a strong attacker that can call for help. I start at the north end of the tower, going south, then east, finding a chest holding a medical herb. Then I go to the northeast corner, climbing stairs to the second floor. A soldier there warns me to not go over the edge, or else I'll fall outside the tower. I go all the way to the west, finding stairs to the third floor. I go south, then west, finding a chest with 56 gold. Then I go south, finding stairs to the fourth floor. I go all the way east, climbing to the fifth floor, going north, finding stairs to the 6th floor. I go around the center, climbing to the 7th floor, finding immediate stairs to the 8th floor, where there's a chest in the center holding nothing at all. I go all the way back to the 4th floor, then climb the middle stairs to the 5th floor. The sequence of stairs there takes me all the way to the 2nd floor, to an isolated room with a chest that holds the Cloak of Wind. This cloak will allow me to glide for a bit after jumping from a great height. I exit the tower, then return to Hamlin, saving and ending this session. This has been a somewhat troubled journey. I crossed an underwater tunnel to the next continent, arrived at Hamlin, explored the ruins of Moonbrooke, finding out that the Princess of Moonbrooke has been turned into a dog. Fortunately, I found the Mirror of Ra in a swamp to the east of Hamlin, and used it to remove the Princess of Moonbrooke's curse. With 3 members on my party, I acquired much golden experience, then adventured through the Tower of Wind, finding the Cloak of Wind, which has gliding capabilities. I have explored much of the east of this continent, so the 3 descendants of Erdrick shall go to the west for their next task. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time, as I discover a port town.